Good evening. Welcome, welcome. My name is David Shane. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I am the Director of Program Services for Art New York. Thank you. A brief visual description. I'm a white man in my late 30s with brown hair and a short brown beard. I'm wearing red pants, a light blue shirt, and a dark blue blazer. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are currently gathered on the unceded ancestral land of the Lenape people. Art New York's membership in the 5 boroughs of New York City operates on the occupied territories of the Lenape, Wappinger, Canarsie, Rockaway, and Matinecock communities. I want to honor and celebrate all of these indigenous communities, their elders past and present, as well as future generations. I also want to take this time to acknowledge that after there was stolen land, there were stolen people. I want to honor the generations of displaced and enslaved people that built and continue to build the city that we occupy today. It has been a standard practice of Art New York's to offer a land acknowledgement at the start of our public programming for years now. We've also partnered with the Lenape Center on several occasions to bring their Living Land Acknowledgements workshop to our members. We feel that this practice has been an important first step toward fostering understanding between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. And we know that it is nowhere near enough, and that we are woefully falling short of our values and potential. So the current Art New York staff has been engaging in conversation about how we can more actively, directly, and authentically support Indigenous communities. We recently reached out to the Indigenous theater companies who have been longtime members of Art New York, some of whom who are here tonight, to start a dialogue about how we can be in better relationship with them. This is just the tiniest first step toward reimagining the type of relationships our historically and predominantly white organization can build and sustain. And I don't yet know what additional action we will take, but I share this tonight with you in a spirit of transparency so that you, our community, can hold us accountable to following through on our intentions. I also want to take this time to extend an invitation to any Indigenous theater makers who are here tonight or who are viewing the live stream. If you have ideas about how we can better support your work and your community, we'd love to hear from you. Please contact me or any other member of the Art New York staff if you'd like to set up a time to talk. Building deeper, more authentic relationships is what this fall forum is all about. And we've named the forum Moving Through Together. So we're going to warm up for the next few days by literally moving in this space. To show us how, please welcome to the stage members of the Collab Theater Group.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi. We are so thrilled to be at Art New York's Fall Forum. We are going to kick things off like we do every Collab class with a dance party.
Becky will explain what Collab is soon, but for now, just know that we see a sample with and without the abilities. We ask that we move by how we want, but we do encourage you to dance when music comes on.
My hands goes up, the music stops. We're asking a question.
The question will employ a strategy we do in Collab rehearsals to ensure our sample is respectful of one another.
Ready?
Go!
Go.
Join us and dance. And you can dance in your seat, you can stand up, however it feels good. KE will do his moves. Get a clap going, I love it. Freeze!
Ask someone what they have for breakfast and then respond with wait. Try to count it in your mind for 7 to 10 seconds before we answer. It's really important to give folks time to process the question before answers.
So we'll turn the music back on, and then you can practice your questions and or dance until the music freezes. So you're asking someone what they had for breakfast, and if you're responding, you're waiting 7 to 10 seconds. Ready? Ready? Go!
Freeze!
You can say, can someone tell me?
Can someone tell me one word how I felt?
You can scream it out. You can raise your hand. Thank you.
And next we encourage you to do whatever feels good. Maybe you want to stand still or write something down. Maybe you want to dance really big and with a partner with their consent.
As you do this, try to refrain from judging, evaluating, or presuming anything about anyone's choice during this dance session. This helps us understand what it's like to presume competence and trust our individual ensemble members' self-advocacy.
Ready? Go!
Oh. Freeze.
Freeze! Thank you for participating and dancing.
We'll be back.
I'm back. So sorry. I just want to thank our CoLab leaders, K.E. and Kirsten, for facilitating our dance party. And thank you to Art New York for bringing us all together tonight. I'm Becky Leafman. I'm the executive director of CoLab Theater Group, and I'm honored to be here to tell you about two organizations I know and love very much, CoLab and Art New York. CoLab is a nonprofit organization that offers individuals with developmental disabilities a creative and social outlet through theater arts. Since 2011, we've reached over 1,500 actors with developmental disabilities in New York City through our programs. On October 8th, 2011, CoLab had its first day of class in the Bruce Mitchell studio at Art New York. And throughout CoLab's lifetime, our community has become familiar with all of the Art New York studios, from the small ones that we use as early arrival holding rooms, to the medium-sized ones we use for class, to the great room in Brooklyn that we've utilized for large community events. Art New York says that the purpose of the Fall Forum is to foster community, support collaboration, and encourage resource sharing among our members. All services Art New York has been providing CoLab, me, and I imagine many of you for years. Art New York has been at the helm of fostering communities for their entire existence. For me personally, I often refer to Art New York as my grad school. It helped me learn from professionals in the field as I took workshops that taught me how to define who we are as an organization, how to comprehend a nonprofit tax return, how to sustain the company during the pandemic, and how to make CoLab a more inclusive and equitable place to work. Art New York always says that, and I'm paraphrasing, individually we may not know much, but together we know a lot. And their roundtable and community workshop model ensures that we are all talking through challenges, successes, and the twists and turns we could not expect nor handle alone. I have been lucky enough to create lifelong colleagues through this programming. Art New York supports collaboration and has been CoLab's biggest collaborator since day one. Our relationship with Art New York hasn't been without competing needs, but as always, we talk through each and every moment together to ensure that artists are able to have optimal experiences in the space. Our community of individuals with developmental disabilities tends to arrive early because of the pains of Access-A-Ride and or their interest in arriving early to reduce anxieties. Art New York worked with us to create affordable holding rooms, which makes it feasible for CoLab to accommodate our actors and their needs while also providing uninterrupted rehearsals for other companies. And Art New York encourages resource sharing, which has occurred since CoLab has joined joined as a member theater. With all the social justice movements of 2020 and all the DEI plans that organizations have made, disability gets left out of the conversation all too often. Not only does Art New York highlight disabled artistry and welcome disabled-centered companies, but in line with the nothing about us without us mantra, it also chooses and compensates disabled administrators to lead workshops. The great Christine Bruno and Sophia Cheyenne and Marilee Talkington led a workshop on ableism in the entertainment industry. Beth Prevor leads workshops on engaging audiences with disabilities, and even CoLab has been invited to lead our Sharing the Stage professional development workshop. Together, CoLab and Art New York ensure that administrators and artists with disabilities are celebrated for their work. As I depart my role at CoLab this year, I think about this phrase that is uniting the Fall Forum. It is a necessary moment for the power and possibility of the art we create. I'm so excited to join the ranks of arts leaders, turning power over to a new generation of creative minds. And I know that whoever comes into leadership at CoLab will be in good hands with Art New York's constant support and partnership. Furthermore, I look forward to the possibility of art CoLab can create, utilizing Art New York's resources and this incredible community of theater makers in this room and online. Art New York is responsive to an ever-evolving field, and without a doubt, CoLab would not be here without Art New York. We are forever grateful for their deep commitment to our community. Thank you.
Hello. Hi there. I'm Risa Shoup. I am a co-director of Art New York.
And I'm Talia Corin, the other co-director of Art New York, and we're so happy to be here.
Yes. Thank you so much, Becky, for your beautiful remarks and for helping to kick off this forum with a CoLab dance party. I feel already engaged and very differently from how I did 2 hours ago when my baby wouldn't stop screaming in my face. For those of you who don't know, I'm back for one night only from parental leave. Looking out into this beautiful theater, I'm really awed by the community that has come together here. We have to thank our wonderful hosts this evening, MCC, for being such amazing neighbors and collaborators, and for literally sharing the stage with us this evening. We also want to recognize our partners in local and state government who have joined us for this fall forum, including DCLA Deputy Commissioner Alton Murray, as well as Ann Del Castillo and Program Officer Dylan Pikus, Wida Mandel from the NEA, our friend Danielle Porcaro from the Speaker's Office, council members Ressler, Joseph, and Hudson, and some members of their staff, Assembly members Simone and Rosenthal, and members of their teams as well. Thank you all so very much. We certainly want to give special recognition to our incredible staff who have stepped up to the demands of this moment with such creativity and compassion, as they always do. Let's hear it for the Art New York staff. With special thanks to the folks who were the architects of the inaugural Fall Forum, David Shane, Nikki Maggio, Ashley J. Hicks, and Audrey Rush. Additionally, we must thank our funders. As all of us in this room know, there are very real costs attached to running institutions, and those costs cannot be ignored or devalued. Our generous funders help us meet these costs and provide us with support in other crucial non-monetary forms as well. We are indebted to our partnership with our funders, including those who are here tonight, the Howard Gilman Foundation, the Schubert Foundation, the Altman Foundation, the Mellon Foundation, the Sherman Foundation, and the Venturous Theater Fund. And we absolutely would not be here without the support and championship of our wonderful board of directors, many of whom are able to join us here this evening. Our wonderful board chair, Deidre Harrington, would be making these thank you remarks and probably doing so with a lot more humor and aplomb than I am, but she is unfortunately out of commission this week. However, the vision and the encouragement of our board to find new ways of leading and serving in this moment has been invaluable, and I know that Talia and I are so grateful to them for encouraging us to take risks and present engagements like this one. Thank you, board. And finally, we must say thank you to you, our members. No one on our board or in our staff is clairvoyant, but you are our collaborator in making this industry succeed. Our most popular and effective programs and services are those that were developed based on your feedback. In fact, you told us that part of what you valued most about Art New York was the opportunity to come together with your peers and colleagues, and that is precisely what motivated us to create the Fall Forum. We welcome, encourage, and dare I say, implore you to continue telling us what you need, what resources you wish were available to you, and what are the questions that you continue to ask with no satisfying answer. And hopefully, in spaces like this, we can discover those answers together.
So as Risa said, we're here tonight because we've consistently heard from you, our members, that the services that we provide, like subsidized space, grant programs, professional development opportunities, are all really wonderful, but you find some of the greatest value in this, in being in a room together, being in conversation with one another, and feeling buoyed by the collective strength of this community. And frankly, that shouldn't come as a surprise. Theater people have known forever that there is nothing more powerful than sitting in a dark room, darkish room, together, imagining worlds that don't exist yet. And isn't that what we need right now? Sorry. The world is tremendously full of heartbreak and fear and division and uncertainty. And we can't forget how powerful the act of coming together with all of our courage and all of our curiosity to tell each other stories and imagine something new. So that's what we're gonna do. There are absolutely, thanks. There are absolutely many very legitimate and very real questions about what comes next for us as theater makers and as theater communities. Good news, bad news. We don't think that we have the answers. But instead, as Becky alluded to, we think that we have the answers. And we think that there are incredible answers in this room because of the alchemy that happens when we come together and have conversations. I've been thinking a lot about how important it is to practice risk. And I was lucky to have a conversation last week with two incredible leaders in our community, Patricia McGregor from the New York Theater Workshop and Amanda Feldman from Classic Stage Company for the Art New York What's Off podcast. Check it out. And the three of us were having this conversation about how over the past few years, we've all been overexposed to risk and danger that we don't have a lot of control over. And it feels really overwhelming, as it just did for me. And as a totally reasonable response, we're all being more calculated about other risks that we take. But actually, some tolerance for failure, and in fact, dare we say joy in taking a collective leap into the unknown, has always been at the heart of making theater. Risa has quoted back to me that apparently in my interview for this job, during a part that I perhaps blacked out for, I said, at its best, I think theater is a safe space to feel something dangerous. And I think I would amend that tonight to say, I think at its best, theater is a safe place to try something dangerous. And I think that that's part of what we can do here together this week and beyond. I want to acknowledge each and every one of you for embracing risk in whatever your practice is while continuing to take care of yourself and your community. We feel incredibly affirmed by the inventive and joyful and brave and compassionate responses to a rapidly changing world that we see in this room, and we thank you for being here, and here, wherever you are. This forum is for you, as Risa said, And we hope that tonight, and indeed this whole week, can be a dialogue instead of a monologue. Instead of calling out into what feels like the void of the internet, let's respond to each other in real time. This forum was designed to create opportunities for intersection, collaboration, and affirmation. We hope you connect with old colleagues and meet some new collaborators. I'm very excited for you all to check out the classifieds that David will tell you about later. We hope that you'll learn something new and share something that you've tried, and most of all, in the midst of this busy and overwhelming season, we hope you fill your cup and take heart from the incredible community that you're sitting with.
At Art New York, we know the people are the theater. The people in your theaters, the artists, the technicians, administrators, audiences, and donors, are at the center of everything we try to do. As an industry, we are grappling with this question of how we support and institutionalize a culture of care while also refining rigorous art-making practices. We envision theaters as a place where people want to work, where they feel valued and appreciated, where creativity is encouraged, and where a pursuit of excellence fuels collaboration. So many of you here have been innovators in this work, and I want to recognize you and thank you for your leadership. Your feedback catalyzes our best work, and our best work hopefully helps you make the best theater possible. And this, for me, is the essence of collaboration, that in coming together, we find a sense of meaning that is richer, more authentic, and more resonant to the largest possible group. So thank you for sharing with us, for being with us tonight, and for all the collaboration